run their mouth, all they do is dance. She keep to the even, I show up the rim. I suck with the G when I go for the hit. And I guess bro picked my sister up and threw her on the bed.
This is Ralph Herrera, a 33-year-old father of 4 from the Bronx who went online and knocked a teenage girl unconscious in front of a camera. 24 hours later, he was dead, shot once in the head outside the smoke shop where he worked, while his own friends stood right there and watched it happen. And here is the part that nobody has been able to explain. The person standing next to Ralph when the gunman walked up looked directly at the shooter, then calmly walked away seconds before the trigger was pulled. Was Ralph set up by someone he trusted? We are going to get into all of it. Ralph went by Chicken Dondada in the local Bronx drill scene. He was not famous by any mainstream measure. He worked at a smoke shop called Exotic World on Westchester Avenue in Soundview, rapped on the side, and by every account from people who knew him, he was the kind of guy who bought ice cream for kids on the block and helped people when they were struggling. His friends described someone who genuinely cared about his community and put his 4 children above everything else. But Ralph also had a record. He had 27 prior arrests, including one for illegal firearm possession. He was unarmed the night he was killed, just standing outside his workplace in a white tank top and jean shorts. But the world he moved through had always carried risk. That tension between the person his friends knew and the record he carried tells you a lot about the environment where this story takes place. Music was the thing he was genuinely passionate about. He released a track called Stolies in 2021 alongside an artist named Joe GNZ, a Bronx drill record about street life, watching your back, and the grind of day-to-day survival in Soundview.
I'm trying to get a fucking V right now, nigga. Niggas know what I'm on. I don't know what the fuck I'm on. Niggas play this month.
He was an Eminem fan, someone who appreciated raw, honest storytelling in music. And he had even traveled to California to connect with Nipsey Hussle before Hussle was shot and killed in 2019. That trip alone tells you something about Ralph. He was trying to build something real, not just rapping for the block.
Think that I'm tripping, my nigga, this is what I've been through.
Now, the girl he knocked out goes by Baby Threat. She is 17 years old from Edenwald Projects in the Bronx, which is the second largest housing complex in New York City after Queensbridge. She started rapping somewhere around 13 or 14, initially just messing around, daring herself and her crew to make songs as a joke.
I really was playing around at first. Like, my first ever song I made, we was dead playing around with we was cool with the 1300 niggas at the point in time, and they had made some song, they dissed one of the girls that was in our group chat. We like, we better make a song and diss these niggas at our shit that ran up on Facebook. We was Facebook famous for like a month straight off that song.
That accidental start turned into something real. Her song BBL was originally a freestyle that she recorded out of boredom, almost didn't post, and then woke up the next morning to find already
Like 80K. First day not the first day, like the second day I dropped it, I had like 70-80K.
No, you weren't. I was just gonna ask, like, did you expect the song to shoot the way it did, or you feel like you were just gonna do some regular?
Yeah, I thought it was just a regular trailer. I just did a trailer because I was bored.
The song pulled over 160,000 views, and she got her first real music video shot for free by a filmmaker named Kalo Visions, who believed in the record enough to do it without asking for payment. That is the kind of early momentum that tells you a career is starting to take shape. Baby Threat is also affiliated with the Mac Baller family, a blood subset in the Bronx, and she's never pretended otherwise. Her lyrics are confrontational, naming rivals, calling out specific blocks, and she's been open about the fact that she raps about things she has actually lived. In a vlog shot at Edenwald, she made it clear how she sees the question of gender in drill music.
Personally, I be feeling like most of these drill rappers don't even be rapping what they be living. Like, I personally feel like if you rapping what you living, then you do what you do.
She's also not without her own controversies. There are rumors that she was expelled from her set after allegedly stealing $16,000 from a fellow affiliate, which created enemies within her own circle before any of this happened with Ralph. That detail matters because it means the pool of people who might have had a reason to set someone up in connection to her is wider and more complicated than a simple retaliation story. But before we get into what the investigation actually found and what that surveillance footage really shows, we need to walk through exactly what happened on those 2 days in August. Because the timeline is the whole story here. And once you see it laid out, you will understand why this case has sat in people's heads for months. On August 6th, 2025, a video started spreading across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Nobody has been able to confirm on the record what started the confrontation between Ralph Herrera and Baby Threat, but the video itself leaves very little room for interpretation. Ralph walked up and threw a punch directly into her face. She went down, knocked unconscious. The video spread the way things only spread when people are genuinely shocked. It wasn't just shared, it was dissected, screenshotted, reposted with commentary, and used as evidence in a broader argument about men in drill rap and what accountability looks like. By the end of August 6th, Chicken Dondada's name was everywhere in the New York rap world, and not in any way he would have wanted. Now, what's important to understand about Baby Threat in this context is that she's not someone who operates quietly. She had already been in multiple physical confrontations before this, and she's open about that in interviews.
What's the reaction to when you hear songs of people saying that they're gonna do violent things to you?
I don't know. I laugh because it be niggas saying it, and then the niggas that be doing it, yeah, that be in my inbox, putting mad hard eyes into my shit.
That's someone who has normalized the idea that threats come with the territory, and the people around her move accordingly. Then comes August 7th. At approximately 10:30 at night, Ralph was outside the Exotic World Smoke Shop at 1629 Westchester Avenue, standing with a companion. The location sits right under the elevated number 6 train line near Morrison Avenue, a busy public stretch of the Bronx. This was not some dark alleyway. This was a well-lit street where Ralph worked, a place he knew completely. The surveillance camera captured everything. The gunman was wearing a black t-shirt with multicolored lettering, black pants, black and red sneakers, and a cinched black hoodie that partially covered his face. He walked up calmly, fired one single shot into the left side of Ralph's head at point-blank range, and then walked away down Westchester Avenue. One bullet casing was recovered at the scene. This was not a spray of gunfire. It was precise, deliberate, and planned.
These are the photos that police have released. As you can see, they're very clear, and you can see the suspect's face. Police believe he is responsible for shooting 33-year-old Ralph Herrera to death here on Westchester Avenue earlier this month. Now take a look at the surveillance video that we were able to obtain here. You can see those chilling moments when those shots were fired. First, keep your eyes on the top right corner of your screen. The video shows Herrera wearing what appears to be a white tank top and jean shorts, standing in front of a shop here near the Morris Avenue Soundview train station. Then from the bottom of your screen, you see the highlighted person in a hoodie run up on the victim, pull out a gun, and shoot him. And we did freeze the video right before those shots were fired, and bystanders ran to go help, but Herrera died at the hospital. And just a few weeks later, there are still candles lit outside where that shooting happened. They're still lit in honor of Herrera's memory here, but police are asking if anybody has any information on who we just showed you or any information on what happened here to call Crime Stoppers. For now, we're live here in Soundview. I'm Brittany Cadet, News 12, The Bronx.
Bystanders rushed over. Ralph was taken to Jacoby Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Now here is where the story takes a turn that made this more than just another shooting. The companion who was standing with Ralph in the footage in the moments just before the gunman arrived glanced in the direction of the shooter as he approached, touched his own face, and then walked away from Ralph. He didn't warn Ralph or step in front of him. He simply moved out of the way. Online, the reaction was instant. People who watched the footage frame by frame called it a textbook backdoor setup, a situation where someone close to the victim positions them and then steps aside so the shooter has a clear path. It's one of the most brutal forms of street culture because it requires the trust of the person being killed. Police haven't officially named the companion as a suspect or charged anyone in connection to the killing, but the footage speaks for itself in terms of what people watching it concluded. The NYPD moved relatively quickly on releasing images. On August 20th, they put out clear photos of one suspect, a young man captured on camera without the hood, whose face was visible. Those images were sharp enough that police publicly said they believed identification was possible with community help. Later, that search was expanded to 2 men wanted in questioning in connection to the murder. As of early 2026, there have been no arrests and the NYPD hasn't publicly confirmed a motive. What the department did confirm is the classification. This was a targeted execution-style killing, not a random act of street violence, not a stray bullet. Someone made a decision, identified Ralph, located him, and sent someone to kill him in a very specific way. Whether that decision came from the people around Baby Threat, from someone connected to Ralph's own past and his 27 arrests, or from the companion who walked away right before the shot, nobody outside of a very small group of people actually knows. And so far, none of those people have talked. Outside the smoke shop on Westchester Avenue, candles were still burning weeks after Ralph was killed. Neighbors came out and left tributes for someone they knew as a regular presence on that block. When the full story hit the internet, meaning the assault video, the shooting footage, the suspicious companion, and the fact that all of it happened within 24 hours, it became one of those cases that people genuinely couldn't stop talking about. The reaction split almost perfectly in two. One side had no sympathy. Ralph was a grown man who knocked a teenage girl on camera. Whatever came next, they said, he invited it. The comment sections across YouTube, Reddit, and Facebook were filled with people who felt the outcome was proportionate to what he did. Some called it street justice, some were blunter than that. The other side pointed to the candles outside the smoke shop, the 4 kids who no longer had a father, and the friends who came out publicly to describe Ralph a version of him that the assault video didn't show. People who knew him talked about someone who looked out for the people around him, who helped community children, and who was genuinely working towards something better through his music. That version of Ralph and the version on that video are both real. People are rarely just one thing.
You lying. No, rest in peace. I send my condolences to his family for real, because that's wild.
I know who it was. I literally seen him the other day. I went in there. I needed to throw something out. He was showing me the trash and getting his hair braided.
Like in front of the
hanging out in front of the thing. I've seen him listening to like music, hanging out with his friends. He'd be in the shop.
He really just be chilling for real.
Yeah, like he don't. I never seen him in an actual problem.
Right. So
He's
whoever
very
did it,
calm and chill all the time.
Nah, whoever did it, that's wild.
Baby Threat, for her part, hasn't commented on any of it publicly. Her social media kept moving forward, focused on music. And honestly, based on what she said in interviews about how she handles threats and confrontation, that silence is probably deliberate.
Yeah, like are you trying to like really become a rapper or like you just responding to the
keep going up. Not yeah, like what I'm doing I really want to do. I'm not just doing it to do it. If I'm seeing I'm going up with this shit, why would I not take it serious?
And she made clear in that same interview period that she understands the risks that come with the world she is operating in, even at 17.
If a lot of the bros was here, I feel like we would be going up. We would have way more exposure. But I'm doing it for my blog right now.
A lot of the people around her are locked up. She is carrying the weight of representing her block largely on her own, which means she is also exposed in ways that a rapper with a full crew around them would not be. Now, this case didn't happen in a vacuum. New York's drill scene has a documented history of beefs that start online and end in real violence, and 2025 was a particularly brutal year for it. East Harlem alone saw 21 shootings in 6 months tied to gang and drill-related disputes. In the Bronx, 10 people were indicted over retaliatory killings connected to drill rap rivalries around Labor Day of 2025 that left 4 people dead. New York also recorded 92 teen shooting victims through September of that year, up 21% from the previous year. Ralph's case fits inside all of that. But what makes it specifically memorable is the speed and the gender element. Most of the drill violence that makes news involves male-on-male beef, usually escalating over diss tracks and social media back and forth over weeks or months. This went from a punch on camera to a funeral in less than a day. The closest parallel in recent New York drill history is the 2022 stabbing death of 14-year-old Ethan Reyes, known as Naughty Osama. Naughty was chased into a subway station by a rival, attacked first with a broom handle and then fatally stabbed by the 15-year-old he cornered. The charges against the other kid were eventually dropped because the evidence supported self-defense. That case also blew up online, also split people between grief and a feeling that the situation was inevitable given the world these kids were moving through. And just like with Ralph, the exploitation that followed was almost as disturbing as the event itself. A song called Naughty Bop was released by rival artists mocking the stabbing, went viral on TikTok with over 80 million views, and turned a child's death into a dance trend. What this case actually reveals, underneath all the reaction and the theorizing, is something simpler and harder to sit with. These are real people from real neighborhoods in the Bronx, operating inside systems, cultures, and economies that do not give them a lot of good options. Baby Threat started rapping at 13 because her friends dared her to respond to a diss. Ralph was working at a smoke shop at 33, still chasing a music career, still carrying 27 arrests behind him. The drill scene gave both of them a platform and a community. It also put them both in danger. In her hood vlog at Edenwald, Baby Threat said something about what making it out means to her that is worth sitting with.
Just going
Look
up.
at me.
I'm happy. Just going up. Make sure I'm happy. Money in my pocket. Smash it.
Ralph wanted the same. He wanted his music to travel further than Soundview and wanted to take care of his kids. He made a decision on August 6th that ended any chance of any of that happening. And 24 hours later, someone made a decision about him.
Niggas, they be asking what that 7 be about. I be telling all these fuckers, watch your motherfucking mouth. 7 days, 7 nights, ball for ball, ounce for ounce. We ain't chasing no clout, no, we ain't chasing no cloud. We some boss dons, ain't no capping over here. I came from Sean John. No food in the cabinets, I was starving. No sibling, plenty nights, I was lonely. At 13, started cruising in them stolies. I used to look up to them niggas with the rollies. At 14, yeah, I started moving. Seen when I went out, but my own thing. Knife and knife, steady trapping, mama asking. Like, baby boy, tell me what's been happening. I ain't got no response, I just know that. I'm just trying to change my ride and stay focused.
What do you think about this case? Do you think Ralph had it coming after he punched Baby Threat? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this. See you in the next one.